Hello, my name is Filiberto Amati, and I'm a partner at Amati & Associates in Warsaw. We're here today for another chapter. Today, we're going to be touching on various themes of sustainability, circular economy, and entrepreneurship in these areas. Supporting me today is Elisabetta Borghi. Welcome, Betty. And our esteemed guest is Matteo Boffa, who's a Swiss national based in Dubai. Welcome, Matteo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this precious invitation.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much for being with us. So, Matteo, I read on your profile that your motto is don't spend to destroy, invest to create. You're Swiss, you ended up in Dubai, a previous stint in finance, and then now entrepreneurship in sustainable industries with various different type of approaches. So why sustainability and why the Emirates?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. I was supposed to continue the dynasty of my family. They were bankers in Switzerland for more than 100 years. So I decided to be the black sheep and jump out of a comfort zone in the finance sector and try to find something that was more interesting and was more rewarding, not just for myself, but for the environment, and also to have a better and social impact than in finance. Dubai was... it just appeared like an oasis in the desert. It was by chance that I landed up here. And straight away, as a Swiss citizen, I saw that in the Emirates, we have a lot of big and small gaps in sustainability and environment. So as a Swiss, I used to recycle even the small superior part of the toothpaste or the carton box or anything that was around the house. For me, I was taught to do it since a very young age. Landed in Dubai, I saw that there was a massive gap and huge opportunity to improve the environment and also to make some money, because at the end of the day, I love to eat my pizza in the weekend and have a roof on top of my head. So mixing the gap and the opportunity, I started my first company in the recycling sector. And after that, I decided to invest the profit in different organizations and projects worldwide.
Thank you. And we're going to go discuss about the several projects in a second. But what intrigued me a lot, there is actually a story about a sailboat, the Kenyan coast, and flip-flops, if I'm correct?
Yes, correct. In my personal behavior, also my motto said, don't spend to destroy, invest to create. So part of the revenue from my companies, I always ship it to other projects and other social impact organization. In this case is the FlipFloppy. It's a non-profit organization in Kenya that built the first boat made entirely from plastic trash from the ocean. So we did our first trip from Kenya to Zanzibar. It's called the FlipFloppy because it's surrounded by old flip-flops found in the ocean and in the beaches. We had a huge support by United Nations, where we were welcome in the General Assembly in Kenya. We have other big organizations that supporting us, and you can easily find it in all the newspaper around the world. So why putting energy, time, resources, networking in something like this? Just because I think it's the correct way, and I believe in karma. If you do something good for other people and for the environment, it will come back. I love the idea. I love the concept. Already looking at this boat, it's a colorful rainbow that gives hope to the people. And it's built without extreme technology. So this also show that if we want, we can have an impact. So this is the boat of the hope for me.
Thank you.
Talking
Betty?
about the sustainability, nowadays is not just a question of doing something good for our society, but it is also an emerging economy that gives a lot of possibility. You are based in Dubai, and probably it can sound like selling fridges in Iceland, but you are able to do amazing things directly from waste recycled. Can you tell us more about the two business in which you are putting all your efforts right now that are called Teli and Etrix?
Yeah, for sure. So Etrix was the first company that I built here in the UAE. We have a very easy concept of taking the advertising billboards, so the big banners that you see around the main road called Sheikh Zayed Road, that was destined to be destroyed, put it under the sand, cover it, and nobody can see it, but actually it's very polluting material. So what I did with a concept born in Switzerland and also in Italy, I was taking this massive giant of plastic, take it down, clean it, cut it, stitch it together, and create bags, backpacks, sport bags, school bags out of it. The very good system that we put in place, it's mainly based on the uniqueness of each bag, because basically you have like a puzzle where you cut a piece and nobody else in the world will be able to have the same bag. So the uniqueness is a very good factor. The environmental impact as well. But the concept that make it this story very successful was the B2B concept. So we don't sell in retail, we don't sell to the final consumer, we sell back to the company who advertise themselves. So again, this is part of the motto: don't spend money in destroying your advertising campaign, invest part of the money to create another marketing tool that allows you to travel the world in a form of a bag or a backpack. We had very huge case story with Porsche, for example, where our cost of production was around 30 euro. We sell it back to Porsche for 70 euro. We are talking about roughly 400 bags. So for us was a very good profit. What happened? Porsche were selling the same bag in their store for 400 euro. So what is the story of this? You can actually generate a huge amount of money out of something that you were supposed to pay to destroy, because of course you have to dispose this material and there is a cost of transportation. So this is the fascinating adventure of Etrix. It's creating value in something that otherwise will be destroyed, damaging people, damaging animals, damaging the environment. In terms of Teli, with a same concept, similar concept, I also teach in university here in the UAE, mainly 3 universities, and I'm a judge in startup competition. And one of these universities holds a competition, Eureka, where the students presented their concept. For the first time I met Ashai Baev. It's at the time he was 19 years old. He came on the stage with a very ugly prototype of a shoe made out of plastic bag. And I fell in love with the concept because I was already involved in something similar. So the same day, I shake his hand. By the way, he won the competition with this project. And I said, I want to start a business with you. I want to start a company. And right now, 2 years after, we have a post-money evaluation of more than 1.5 million US dollar. We have a team of 8 people from 5 different countries. We are producing with one of the biggest shoe brand in the world. And the good thing is that we don't have just an impact at the level of environment, but the whole production is sustainable. So there are no kids involved. The factory is eco-friendly in terms of water consumption, electricity consumption, women empowerment. So from my side, I don't want to make business if somebody else will pay in terms of health, in terms of working hour, and also using too much energy and water.
So Teli is not just selling in the UAE. So what are your projects? Can you tell us maybe more something that might be interesting for the global consumers in terms of technology you use during your process of production in the supply chain?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We will sell worldwide. At this stage, there is something called greenwashing. Greenwashing means you have companies that pretend to do something great. I don't want to name the brands, but showing that they are doing something good, picking up plastic from the ocean and producing something that represents the 0.001%. They try to manipulate the thinking of the consumer, pushing them in the direction of thinking, okay, this brand is now sustainable. Unfortunately, this is very bad. What we decided to do is through a blockchain system, we can really show to each consumer where their shoes are made, from which area the plastic bags and the plastic bottles were picked up, from who they were picked up. So these give a very transparent and crystal idea to the consumer of what is behind the brand, what is behind the name, and what is behind the product. Unfortunately, as I said, there are many companies that abuse of the term sustainability and environment. Fortunately, we are facing a very big growth of consumers that are more picky. They are more into finding out where the product is made. If we make another example, if we talk about leather or vegan leather, we're talking about a product made out of plastic that want to substitute the real leather, but at the end of the day doesn't decompose and gets eaten by animals and is even more harmful than leather itself. So it's very tricky to find the right balance, but I think with our product we find the right solution.
That's very interesting. Thank you.
Whereas I have a question concerning the other project, Zeloop, because what you're basically trying to do is helping people in create an habit for a more sustainable approach and a circular approach. Yep. By rewarding them, which is usually a good way of working. Can you tell us a bit about the project and what technology you're using, how it works, and, yes, and why you think it would work?
So in terms of Zeloop, it's a very good concept created by Eric Schaffner. It's a French friend that I met here, and now I'm helping him and investing him in terms of networking and knowledge and working also for this company. Basically, this app that you can already find in Apple Store, iOS and Android, you download the app and you get a rewarder for each recycling bin that you find around you. So it's a kind of Pokemon Go, a gamification system. So you get reward if you take a picture of the bin with the recycling system. And if you have plastic bottle, you take a picture of the plastic bottle or plastic bottles, and you get rewarded points by each plastic bottle. Now, you get rewarded with eco points. The eco points can be converted into discounts, into prices, into product, and eventually in the future with cash. So the idea is to give a value of plastic bottle that are already in the nature or that we consume, to avoid that this end up damaging our planet. So as soon as you give a value to something that you otherwise we will throw away without even caring about it, you will start this process of making points, going and catching bins around. And so far we have been downloaded in more than 50 countries. We have almost 5,000 downloads, and people are very, very engaged. In terms of blockchain, we will create the same kind of system. So you will be able to see in which plastic bottles was dumped in which container, and what happened after you dumped it. So with our rating system, we can exactly identify which waste management company pick it up, and also reward based on the clarity of this waste management company.
That is very interesting. Thinking about that behind the product there is a story, and you can check the story since the bottle to the final product.
Yeah, that's the future. Consumer will go more into this rather than to find products or services in the market that are totally unupdated or stone aged.
Yeah, and I think, if I may, I like the idea of educating them, but also I think the powerful part is the gamification, because too much of this educational focus is do this, do it in this way, and then what? You know, and then people, because the problem is that the habits, when you do something in a repetitive way, you forget that you're doing it.
Yeah.
You are emotionally detached.
Correct.
So it's important to actually keep the interest on in the context.
No, that's completely right, Filiberto. You're right. As soon as you put the fun and the gamification system, you attract more people, and people will share it. And in terms of sustainability, people get proud of it. You know, they can say to their friends, you know, how many bottles did you save from the desert this week? And it starts a whole process that you don't need to educate or to promote anymore, because it's a snowball effect. I can quickly show you. I don't know if you can see it. So
yes.
this is the application, and in just few days, these are only the UAE. These are around 500 collection points where you can dump your plastic bottle and get rewards. So yeah, I think from my side, the IT side was something missing in my investment portfolio. I'm a huge believer of the fact that technology will help the environment if used in the right way. So for me, it was a perfect fit. And I'm not an IT guy. I will never be able to code or to understand the engine that there is behind it. But luckily, we build a team that is very good at it, and it's something very incredible.
Yes, in the desert, you had an amazing opportunity to give also employment, not because you have the environmental focus, but you also have a social imprint, because you can produce new jobs in the end, and
Correct.
It's very nice. Can you tell us more about another experiment that you are doing? The company is called Degrade, and they are also using another kind of technology. But the concept is strictly linked to the other projects. It's like you are building an ecosystem of.
The amazing part of living in the UAE is that it seems a huge country, but we are talking about 9 million people. So in terms of sustainability, we know each other pretty well. You have 100, 200 people that are in this sector. So at the end of the day, we know each other, we help each other from different nationalities. And in terms of Degrade, I discovered this company, and I fell in love with the idea of transforming PET in RPT, means recycled plastic bottles that became textile. So they developed this technology called Greenspun, where you basically take the plastic bottle, you wash it, you shred it, you melt it, and you create a fiber, or that can be a t-shirt, can be a cap, can be anything that you see around you that it's in polyester, can be made in RPET, so recycled polyester. Degrade likely got a very good contract with Expo, where Expo 2020 Dubai, where basically it's possible to create all the merchandising with this system. In terms of impact, of course, there is less use of energy, there is less use of water, there is non-use of oil. So this is a very good solution. Now we have to a bit be clear on the fact that we are not promoting, or I'm not promoting the use of plastic bottles to recycle afterwards, or to the flip-flops to throw it in the ocean so that we can catch it and build a boat. We have several levels of doing right. We call it the 4, 5, or 6 R, where my favorite R is refuse. So before recycling, we have to refuse, companies, governments, individually, they have to refuse the use of single-use plastic, for example. If we are at the shop, refusing to use a plastic bag, refusing to use a straw in the bar. After refusing, we can reuse, we can recycle. So there are many levels that has to be done from all the level of the society, from companies, government, and of course individual. So degrade is a solution of using and recreating value out of plastic bottles that otherwise will not have any value.
Are you open to receive other offers from other companies? Because we know that Expo is just an event and it will come to an end. But the purpose of Degrade, I hope that it is also to collaborate with other kind of corporations.
Yeah, of course. This is again a B2B concept where we produce in medium big quantity for uniforms for staff, for big companies, or for events, marathons, festival, concert, etc. Now the situation of the COVID, it's a bit stopping us to be promoted in these huge events with a huge amount of people. But for the future, we are very into collaborating worldwide and creating another life to the plastic bottle in a creative way.
Thank you.
And if I may add, say something that you guys touched on it, but I think what is powerful about what you're doing is the notion that there is a sort of supply chain. No, there is an ecosystem: governments, consumers, companies, recycling, the various are. But there is a certain degree of complexity. And there isn't one solution. You need to really move the needle on several levels. If you want to be focusing too much, sometimes it's actually problematic because it doesn't give you the whole picture. That's
correct. You need like a satellite rotating around the globe. You have to see all around the sphere and see it from different altitudes to understand the micro and the macro effects and players, competitors. It's a huge dimension, and this specific sector is growing, and also finding collaboration is the most important part. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the sector of sustainability for a second in the context of larger corporations. Okay. You mentioned earlier the idea of greenwashing, which is corporation pretending they are doing something, but not really transforming themselves towards a more sustainable approach. That's what I call the checklist. It's like the investors want you to do something in sustainability, so you have a checklist. We done it. We did a project in Brazil and we collected trash out of the ocean. And then basically they are in Chile throwing the same trash back into the ocean, and the cycle continues. So how do we help this company to work on real sustainabilities, and how do we help them building business models which are more sustainable? A very good question. Few years ago, the role in a company of a CSR manager, so means corporate social responsibility manager, didn't exist. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 years ago. we're probably somebody before from the human resource that love animals, pandas, and just try to do something. But this role and other roles in the organization are very important, because as a company, you have to invest in somebody that has a degree, that is a specialist, and investing in him, you invest in your company to find a solution that they are not just a checklist, as you said. They're not just greenwashing, but they're very effective. Now, companies are realizing that you can save a huge amount of money if you start looking into your water consumption, electricity consumption, if you start investing in solar panels, if you start to dig into your water consumption and see, okay, maybe if we use this new technology that we can pay it out after 5 years, terms 50 years, we will save 2, 3, 4 million. So in the organization, you need an expert that can guide the management in the direction of saving money and saving the environment at the same time. Now, if we take another example, Apple just informed people that they will not put the charger and the earphones inside their box for a sustainable reason. Now, it has a very impact on the environment. Yes, no. I'm not an expert to judge, but this is something that eventually a company can do. You save the cost because you decrease your production cost. You decrease the weight of your boxes for the transport, and you engage your consumer of sharing the power bank or the earphones. So there are many opportunities from a small company of recycling their papers, recycling their toners, recycling their IT infrastructure, where you can find actually in a computer and a phone, you can extrapolate gold. So you have companies willing to pay for your old machines. It's very depending. Each company, each industry can benefit financially and socially on having somebody on board that can guide the management.
Thank you. And
Betty, one last question.
What do you want to do in the future as a company, mainly in fashion?
Yeah, maybe I will start what I will do personally. I don't want to be cocky, but since I was a young employee in the bank, I always watch Forbes 30 under 30. That is it's a chart of the 30 best entrepreneur in a specific region, and for me it was always a challenge, a mission, a vision to reach. And personally, I reached this goal this year in the 30 under 30 Forbes Middle East. For me, this is a huge goal that I'm very proud of it. Sorry, I don't want to be cocky, but it's something that I love to share because it's something that makes me happy. So my next personal goal will be to help more entrepreneur, more company, and to find their way of making money and saving the planet at the same time. Professionally, I'm open to invest in other startups. My role is an angel investor. Why that? Because with a relative small amount of money, you can enter in a company, acquire good number of shares, and also having a decision power, because I love to be in a company. I love to be involved in it. I'm not the kind of person that put the money and leave it there for years and forget about it. I love to be involved in each project. In terms of fashion, I'm learning every day. I'm trying to read as much books and articles, website as possible, because it's something that I never studied. Same for the bags. I didn't know how a bag is made, but I spent weeks in the factory and I made my own bags, almost cutting my finger out. But it's something that I love to dig into the product, the concept, the project, because I learn every day something new from other people that are coming from other countries, from different religion, different sex. it's amazing. This is the most amazing part of my job, and I don't consider myself working, because I wake up and I cannot wait to continue my day, to end up with a nice networking event. And for me, I know it seems very stupid to say, but the weekend sometimes I feel bad because the business cannot continue. So it's probably absurd, but
well, that's
true.
what I call a passion. I mean,
yeah,
being passionate about what you do. One last comment. So you're trying to disrupt fashion. You're trying to work on rewards for circularity. What's next? What the next industry that you think it's ripe for this kind of work?
So we're talking about fashion. We're talking about the IT side. It's. I try to enter in the technical renewable energy side, but it's extremely complicated. You need really to have a degree in electronics engineering. It's something that I really like. I would love to enter in this kind of also green mobility, so electric vehicle. But at this stage, I'm not capable. I'm not smart probably enough to enter in this domain. So small, little by little, as much time as I can, I invest in looking around. A company contacted me, so that's a way also to learn.
Cool. Matteo, thank you very much. It's been great having you.
Thank you.
Thank you for introducing me to Matteo.
Thank you so much, Filiberto. Thank you so much, Elisabetta. It is a pleasure. I hope this will be shared with students and other of your partners. And if we can generate a thought on moving forward for a better planet, maybe before going to try other planets in the universe, that I personally think it's a bit of a waste of money when we have one planet A, and it's a one planet A that we have no other option. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.